Hey YouTube, Brian LCS. Thanks for stopping by the channel and this video, The Amazing Spider-Man number 90 review. So let's jump right in. Story is by Patrick Gleason and pencils by Mark Bagley. Artwork in this book is really good. As we get through some of the other pages, you'll see it. But I wanted to point out that there was a little storyline that occurred in an issue or two ago where, so part of Ben Reilly's association with Beyond is he's been getting psychiatrist help. He's kind of been in counseling and therapy. And so at one point, his psychiatrist, Ashley Kafka, basically got whisked away from Beyond because she was telling Ben too much information on Beyond Corporation. But right here in the summary for this issue, they mention that Ashley, Ben's psychiatrist, is actually the Queen Goblin. So it was kind of, I don't know if I missed it in a previous issue and just didn't connect the dots, but here they are right in the summary just kind of mentioning that, which was, I thought, was kind of a weird story plot or piece, but there it is. So now we're flashing, as soon as we get into the issue, we're flashing back from last issue where Ben Reilly kind of ducked out on the battle with the Queen Goblin. And so this is kind of giving you the information. Ben wanted to get his girlfriend Janine out of harm's way, and he really wasn't focused on Queen Goblin or any of the other people at the Daily Bugle where this, the battle took place. And so, we kind of see them kind of talking through it, and Ben is really focused on taking Beyond Corporation down from the fact of all the things that they have done to him. And, Janine points out that, she looked at the data that was on the drive that they were going to expose Beyond with, that there is a supervillain, like a lab that's happening in Staten Island. And we had seen that in an earlier issue where the UFOs were being held. And so they kind of put it all together and realized that Beyond has been manufacturing these attacks and basically has, a set of supervillains, on their payroll. And so then we flash, back to, we continue with Ben and Janine, and they, Janine basically says, look, then go after him, go get it, but drop me off, at Mercy or MacArthur Hospital. And that's basically where Spider-Man is, where Peter Parker is currently. And so then we catch up to, present, and Peter Parker, the actual Amazing Spider-Man, is battling Queen Goblin. And he's, he's his, quippy self, and he actually even makes reference to the X-Men's Goblin Queen. And, Queen Goblin, corrects him, says, look, I'm Queen Goblin, not Goblin Queen. So I thought that was funny because I actually had mixed up those characters when Queen Goblin first appeared. And so they're basically battling throughout the city, and Peter Parker is really not faring well. He is, still not 100%, but he latches on to her glider and basically is being taken for a ride throughout the city. And, he's taking his lumps, and he realizes, look, I need to kind of make some offensive moves here because I'm getting my butt kicked. And so he makes a move where he swings around and basically comes face to face with Queen Goblin, and she hits him with the Goblin Gaze. And what that is, and we've seen it now 2 or 3 times, it's basically, it gets into the mind of the person and really introduces self-doubt and makes the person feel, worthless and, basically, that they don't want to live anymore. And so Peter is basically fallen into the ocean, and he's going deeper and deeper, and he's, in his mind thinking of all these things, and he's basically seeing flashbacks of people who, say he's not worthy, he's irresponsible, he's, not man enough, and all kinds of things. But he's kind of trying to work through it. And he remembers the conversation that he had with Ben early in the story arc about, Ben coming and asking Peter for permission to be Spider-Man. And, Peter Parker realizes that, hey, look, we both deserve it. We both can be Spider-Man, and that, we both can be amazing, and we can't give up. And that kind of helps him get out of the goblin gaze effects, and he's back, out of the water. But at this point, Queen Goblin is still around, and he's able to kind of get in a good punch, and then knocks her crown off here. But he falls into the water, and her glider goes into action, and basically you can see it here where it says protect the queen, and basically whisk her away. And then now we're back at Beyond, and Beyond is basically Maxine Danger is now trying to figure out where Ben is, right? They've been trying to call him on his suit, and he's disabled that, and they're trying to pinpoint his location. And they realize they're able to pinpoint that he's somewhere on Staten Island. And so they know that's where they have a facility, and that Maxine Danger then directs Queen Goblin to go after Ben at Staten Island. Peter Parker is rescued by the Coast Guard. He gets back to shore. Mary Jane and Black Cat are there. And then, there's some conversation. They see that the crown is, connected to Beyond, and they can hear Maxine Danger, talking in it. So there's some, communicator in the crown. And then, they come to the realization that, Parker's got to go help Reilly. And so he's got to get to Staten Island and help him, even though each of them are not 100%, combined together, they make one good Spider-Man, I guess. And so, Ben is there, and then Peter shows up, and then, they kind of have a heart-to-heart and just saying, hey, look, we can be good, together. And so let's go face this, let's go face this challenge. And that's where the issue ends up, and they're off, going to fight Queen Goblin or deal with, whatever's happening at this Beyond location. And that's really it. I mean, that's the story in a nutshell. It was a very good issue. Like I said, the artwork, Bagley's pencils are really good artwork here. We learned, obviously, the identity now of Queen Goblin. And, we see that, Ben and Peter are, still struggling a little bit, not 100%, but they're trying to work through it. And that, obviously, they're, supporting one another. So overall, on my 5-web rating system, I will give this one 4 webs. Overall, I thought it was a good story. It really moved it forward. We finally have Peter Parker back in The Amazing Spider-Man, and, we have a banged up Ben who deals with similar things that Peter Parker does, and now they're kind of working together. Where this goes and how it plays out, I'm not entirely sure, but we'll certainly see in the next couple issues. But, so far so good. The story is heading in the right direction. Patrick Gleason, Gleason who took his lumps on the whole Kindred run, has been back the last 2 issues and has done a really good job writing this story. So I don't know if that's a little redemption for him, that he's, come back for a couple issues and has kind of, redeemed himself, at least in my eyes. So love to hear your thoughts. If you're reading this, if you've read this, what do you think? Do you think Gleason has kind of, come full circle and redeemed himself after the long drawn out Kindred run? And what do you think about the story of Ben and Peter teaming up? And what about this new villain, this Queen Goblin? Is she someone that's going to stick around? So let me know. Drop your comments below, and appreciate you guys watching. And we will be back with Amazing Spider-Man issue number 91 review soon. Thanks for watching, guys.